हेलो माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स एंड फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल किड्स लर्निंग क्लासरूम स्टाइल। मैं शिखा और आप सबको मेरा जय श्री श्याम। Today's subject is science and the topic that we are currently doing is adaptation in plants. Last video we had completed our topic adaptation in habitats. Adaptation of animals as per the habitat means as per the places that they live. So that adaptation to habitat. So what are the various animals, what are the various categories of animals that we had discussed? So there are basically 5: terrestrial animals, aquatic animals, amphibians, then aerial animals, and then arboreal animals. The animals who stay in land are called terrestrial animals. The animals, the picture here, so these are the examples of the animals that stay in land. Here is the picture of the animal that stays in water, and they are called aquatic animals. Then what are amphibians? So amphibians are the animals that stay in both land and water. Yes, so these are the picture of the animals who are amphibians. The word amphi is basically a Greek word. What does it mean? It means dual living. So these animals start their life of the journey by staying in water, and then when they gradually, as they grow, they move, and then they survive in land. And these are called amphibians, means the animals who live both in land and water. Example: a frog, toad, newt, and salamander. Then we had discussed about the animals, aerial animals. Who are the aerial animals? The animals that can fly. The animals that can fly are called aerial animals. And here are the picture of the aerial animals that we had discussed. All these, and the last we had discussed was the animals, the arboreal animals. And what are the arboreal animals? The animals who are land animals, but what is that makes them different is that they live mostly on trees. And here are the examples of the arboreal animals: monkey, gibbon, chimpanzee, and koala bear. We had discussed how these animals have adapted to that particular surrounding, that particular this, and how these animals features, the body characteristics have developed over years that allows them to stay in that particular area, in that particular habitat. And then we had discussed about the adaptation for food. Now since we know about the habitat, so now we started our discussion with adaptation for food. In that, what we had discussed, that since all these animals that stay in different part of the earth, in different areas, in different climatic conditions, so therefore their food habits are also different. So, and these are classified into 5 categories. They are herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous, scavengers, and parasites. So since I had explained you in that particular day what are herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous, scavengers, and parasites, so here have a look at the picture. So basically these 3 categories of animals fall under either herbivorous, carnivorous, or omnivorous. Can you write in your notebook the first column falls under which category of food eating, food habits, the second and the third? Yes, so hopefully you guys would have written the answer. So let me tell you. So the animals like tiger, cuttlefish, lion, they are all carnivorous. So basically they are the flesh eaters, they are the predators. They kill other animal and then eat them. They eat the flesh of other animals by killing those animals themselves. And the animals like deer, giraffe, koala, parrot, kangaroo, these are herbivorous, means they are plant eaters. And the animals like boar, bear, ostrich, turtle, they are omnivorous, means they eat both plant and flesh. Today in details we'll discuss about these animals, how these what these animals eat, the examples of that, and what are the teeth structure of these animals that allows them to eat. So first is the herbivorous animals that eat plant only are known as herbivorous. So they only eat plant and therefore they are called herbivorous. They eat plant parts like leaves, roots, fruits, bark and grasses. They have, so now since these animals eat the plant parts, so how are their teeth? So they have flat, broad and short cutting teeth and strong grinding teeth, so as to break plant part into smaller pieces. So how are their teeth? Their teeth are flat, broad and short cutting teeth, and they have strong grinding teeth that help them to grind the plant material into pieces and chew them properly. So what are the examples? Like deer, buffalo, zebra, goat, cow, etc. So basically these animals like buffalo, goat, cow, we would have seen, these are basically the domestic animals whom we would have seen, and generally we would have also seen them eating mostly this grass, these plants, grazing on the field. So this is what their eating habits are. And since these plants are so therefore the teeth structure is what differentiate them from their eating habits. So what is important in these plants, these animals, are how their teeth are structured that allows them to eat that particular type of food. Yes, in this zebra, my dear students, have you a very good this good to know is that these zebras, they look like how they have white and black stripes on their body, patterns on their body. But do you know that the pattern that these zebras have, that patterns are not similar to each and every zebra? So all those zebras, they have this white and black pattern, but these patterns are different. No two zebras have the same patterns on their bodies. Yes, do observe, do check the photos of these zebras, how if you can identify how these patterns are different. Then carnivorous animals. So these are basically the animals who eat flesh. And do I have a picture of any such animal? No. So here, but yes, here I do have. So like lions, walrus, shark, tiger, cuttlefish, etc. are the animals who are carnivorous. So these animals, they have sharp teeth and claws. So to be able to tear the flesh, they have sharp teeth and claws to grasp and tear the flesh. So basically their hands, the claws that they have in their hands, that they have that ability to grasp and tear the flesh. Examples are lion, tiger, leopard, wolf, etc. The flesh eating, there are flesh eating birds as well. They are eagle. Example, eagle, they have again sharp, if you would have seen the eagle, the leg part, they are very sharp. They have very sharp claws to catch their prey, because they are the predators. Basically the carnivorous animals, they don't eat the flesh of animals who have been killed by others. No, they are the predators who kill their who first catch their prey, they kill them and then they eat the flesh of that animal. Catch their prey and special hooked beak. So this eagle, they have what? They have a hooked beak. So like this, that hooked beak looks like, to tear off the flesh. So these animals have sharp teeth and they're grasping, the claws, they have the grasping power to tear the flesh. Similarly, the birds also, who are carnivorous, who are basically the flesh eater, they also have this sharp claws to catch their prey, and they have the hooked beak that allows them to tear the flesh. Then the next is omnivorous. So omnivorous are the animals that eat both plants and animals. and they have a combination of teeth. Why? Because as we humans, many of us in humans also eat both. They eat plant-based food and they eat flesh of other animals as well. So as we have a combination of teeth, means we have canines, we have pointed teeth, we have flat teeth, we have molars, premolars, incisors. So why we have these teeth? Because the canine part of the teeth that allows us to, they are very pointed and they allow us to tear the food. And the molars and premolars, what do they help? They help us to grind and chew the food. Similarly, the animals who are omnivorous, the birds who are omnivorous, have the same combination of teeth as humans have. Yes, for example, humans have sharp canines which help in biting and tearing food such as meat, while premolars and molars help in grinding the plant material. For example of the omnivorous are bear, raccoon, and birds like crow and woodpecker. Now the two new terminologies that we learn in this adaptation for food is scavengers. So what are these scavengers? So basically these are the animals who feed on dead animals and plant material. So the animals who are dead, they are dead either because of natural reason or they have been killed by some other animals, some other predators, basically who are carnivorous. So these animals eat those animals and the a kind of decomposed plant material. So the plants, the foods that decay, that basically decay, but gradually when they decay, they decompose, there are nutrients. So these animals feed on that particular thing. So these animals are not the predators, and this is the only difference between the predator and the scavengers and the carnivorous. That the carnivorous animals, they kill their own, they catch their prey and they kill them, and that is what they eat. But the scavengers, they eat the flesh of animals, either they have been killed by any carnivorous, or the animals would have died due to some natural reason. So some organisms that feed on dead animal and plant material are called scavengers. Many scavengers are carnivorous, such as vulture and hyena, while most carnivores hunt and kill their prey. Scavengers usually consume animals that have died of natural causes or have been killed by another carnivore. So this is a very important point to note. Why? Because my dear student, this could be one of the questions that can be formed in your exams as to what is the difference between a carnivorous and scavengers. So the carnivorous, the scavengers, they can be carnivores. Carnivores means who eat flesh. But since most carnivores, they hunt their own prey, they kill them and then they eat. But there are very few carnivores who does not do that, and they just eat the flesh of the animals who have been killed by some other, for example vulture, hyena. Yes, and the other was parasites. So what are parasites? So some animals derive their nutrients from other living organisms, and these are basically the worms. So if we would have noticed, the worms, they derive their nutrition from other living organism. Yes, so they are called the parasites. And then my dear students, since these three main topics, herbivorous, carnivorous and omnivorous, are very important, so for you all I have got a different, that's why I have prepared a differentiate between herbivorous, carnivorous and omnivorous, because this could also be one of the very important topic in your exam. So you can get to differentiate between either all the three or any two as per your requirement. So you can have these kind of notes handy that will help you. And even if you have not read the exact of herbivorous, carnivorous, if you remember these points, you can make a very good sentence, a very short paragraph that will fulfill the requirement of 2 or 3 marks question in your exams. So herbivorous animals, these animals are plant eater. Carnivorous, these animals are flesh eaters. Omnivorous, these animals eat both plants and animals. The teeth structure, the herbivorous their teeth are not sharp, pointed, front tooth is present. So basically they have the front tooth, but their teeth are not very sharp. It's basically a flat but a broad teeth they have, because the front tooth they have is because to tear or to tear the plants, the roots, the barks, and also therefore the front teeth has to be very, because that's the first bite how we take as human, the incisor part of our teeth that help us to take the first bite of it. So similarly they have pointed front tooth. Carnivorous teeth are sharp enough, long, sharp and curved in scissors and canines to tear the flesh. So their incisor and canines which are there on the front part are very sharp and they're long also. The omnivorous teeth are neither sharp nor pointed. Combination of teeth is present like humans. So herbivorous, they are generally more in numbers, means there are more animals around us who are herbivorous. And if you would have seen, my dear students, cows, buffaloes, goat, the domestic animals which we see, they all are herbivorous and they're more in numbers. Carnivorous generally less than compared to herbivorous, and omnivorous are intermediate in numbers, means neither too less nor too much. Then salivary glands. So what is salivary glands, my dear students? As we have discussed in the human body, so these animals also have a full developed nervous system. So therefore they have all the parts pretty much very similar. So they have salivary glands basically that secretes the saliva. So therefore if you would have observed the cows and buffaloes, when they will eat, they will just swallow it, they'll keep it in their mouth, and later on when they are resting, they'll do cuddling, which is whatever they have eaten, whatever food they got, they just ate it, but they did not chew it. So they will chew it continuously to grind that food and swallow it. And what helps the food to grind and swallow is the saliva that is secreted by the salivary glands. However, these carnivores, they don't basically chew their food, they swallow it. So salivary glands are not well developed, they are small because they don't have this chewing process in their eating habits. It's basically the flesh that they eat, it's what they swallow. Salivary glands are well developed. Since omnivores are both plant eaters and flesh eaters, so as a plant eater and flesh eater, their salivary glands are well developed. What are the examples? So giraffe, sheep, zebra, cow, deer, buffalo, goat, etc. are the example of herbivorous. Fox, wolf, lion, shark, leopard are example of carnivorous, and bear, raccoon, woodpecker, crow, etc. are the example of omnivorous. Yes, so here we have completed our topic of adaptation for food. So we have discussed the animals who stay in different places across the earth. Their food habits also differ from each other. Similarly, adaptation for protection. As I had told that these animals try to choose the environments, choose the habitat where they feel safe. From whom they have to feel safe? They have to keep themselves safe from other animals who are the predators, who catch their prey and eat them, like lion, tiger. They catch whom? They catch deers. Yes, they catch all many other small animals in the forest. They hunt them and they eat the flesh of those animals. So therefore these animals prefer to stay in places, adapt the habitat where they feel protected, where they are safe. What are the other thing? So even in here, my dear student, to keep safe, what are the characteristics that these animals have? How do they keep themselves safe is what we will discuss. So there are basically three categories in adaptation for protection. So what are those? One is the animals have strong leg, thick skin and big sizes. So if you would have seen the animal like deer, so the deers have long legs. Why long legs? Because that allows them to run faster when they see any predator, any animal coming near to them, or try to hunt them. Thick skin, as we had discussed about this, these animals, these camels, what do they have? They have thick skin. And why do they have thick skin? They have thick skin to protect themselves from heat. Similarly, these polar bears, what do they have? They have thick skin. Why? To protect themselves from extreme cold. Yes. And then what is next? Big sizes. So now what does this big size mean? So my dear students, the animals like elephant, do they need to be worried about being hunted by any other animal? No, because that's not practically possible, because these are very big animals. Like hippopotamus, they're again very big animals that cannot be eaten easily by the predators, that cannot be hunted easily by the predators. Therefore they don't, so that is something that they don't need to fear about it. Then what is camouflage? So camouflage is basically, my dear students, is the animals, their color, they have that ability to change their body color same as the color in the environment. The very good example that we would have heard is a chameleon. The chameleon body color changes depending on the place where it is residing. So if the chameleon is on a leaf or near the place where it's a lot of greenery, the color of the chameleon will look like what? Will look like green, and it will not be easy to identify a chameleon hiding there. So that is how these animals adapt. This is how these animals whose body color changes and they are able to hide themselves, adapt to the environment color to keep themselves safe from whom? From the predators. There are many other examples like Arctic fox, the Arctic foxes or the polar bears. They are what? They're white in color, and the places where they live is also very cold, freezing. So the environment color is what? It's again white. And then mimic. So there are many animals who changes their behavior to imitate other animals for protection. Like example, there is a moth caterpillar who can who imitate like snakes, so that to defend themselves, so that their predators don't are unable to identify and hunt them basically. So we'll have a detailed discussion about these tomorrow with notes. In case you have still missed any of the making the notes of any of the videos that we have discussed in this particular chapter, do go and visit, my dear students. Do follow my channel. Please share with your friends and families, and do like my videos as well. We'll meet tomorrow with a new video. तब तक के लिए आप सबको मेरा जय श्री श्याम.